news on Atlantic Television Network. First, the headlines. Rivers APC frowns over Governor Fubara's performance. Imo CP condemns attacks on security personnel. NDLEA alerts public on new scam. Investors gain 146.95 billion naira in market capitalization. Putin vows retribution for Moscow attack. Shakira expresses doubts over finding love again. NPFL postpones Rivers United next 3 games. Now, the news in details. Chairman of the Caretaker Committee of the All Progressives Congress in Rivers State, Chief Tony Okocha, has raised concerns regarding the governance style of Governor Siminalayi Fubara's administration. In a statement, Okocha underscored various issues plaguing the state, ranging from alleged administrative ineptitude to fiscal mismanagement. He likened Governor Fubara's leadership to a directionless journey, citing examples of alleged financial extravagance and the disconnect between the executive and legislative arms of government. He also criticized what he termed as the governor's penchant for frivolous spending and the neglect of critical state matters. He highlighted the recent influx of funds into state treasury, amounting to 40.4 billion naira, and expressed concern over the potential misuse of public funds. The APC chairman vowed to continue advocating for accountability and good governance in Rivers State, despite criticisms from supporters of the current administration. Niger Delta Development Commission says it will collaborate with the Bayelsa State government and a private firm to train youths in aquaculture in the multi-million naira Bayelsa Aquaculture Village in Yenegwa local government area of the state. NDDC Executive Director of Projects Victor Antai stated this when he visited the Bayelsa State-owned aquaculture farm currently operated by Aqua Seas Company Limited, accompanied by the NDDC Director Agric and Fisheries Winifred Madume, the Director of Procurement Dr. Week Dude, and other directors of the Commission. This was contained in a statement issued in Port Harcourt by the NDDC Director of Corporate Affairs, Pius Ogaputeni, on Saturday. NDDC Executive Director Projects said he was impressed with the facilities at the aquaculture village, noting that the farm boasts of a hatchery, earth ponds, and feed mill, as well as fish processing and packaging units. Earlier, the Managing Director of Aqua Seas Company Limited, Steve Okeleji, said the aquaculture village, sited on a 127-hectare land, had 500 fish ponds, 60 of which were currently stocked with catfish and tilapia. Nigeria Police Force has arrested 5 suspects over gruesome murder of 6 policemen in a horror forest in Ugeli North local government area of Delta State. Force spokesman Olumuyiwa Adejobi, who confirmed the arrest in a statement, said the brave officers tragically fell victim to a cowardly ambush by armed assailants while undertaking a mission to investigate the disappearance and rescue of 3 of their colleagues in the Ohoro Forest, Delta State. He said while 6 others are currently missing in action, the NPF is set to honor the slain officers, just as the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Ebetokun, has ordered an immediate payment of the entitlement of the slain officers to their families. Justice Daniel Okungbowa has set up a 7-man panel to probe the petition against the Deputy Governor of the state, Philip Shaibu. This is in line with the last Tuesday's resolution of the Edo State House of Assembly. House of Assembly had on March 6, 2024, served a notice of impeachment on the Deputy Governor, Philip Shaibu, over alleged misconduct and perjury, with 7 days ultimatum to respond to the petition. A statement signed by the Chief Registrar of the State High Court, B.O. Osawaru, named retired Justice S.A. Omonwa retired the chairman of the panel. 3 professors from the University of Benin and Benton Idahosa University are also members of the panel. Ahead of the Ondo and Edo States gubernatorial elections, the chairman, Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, has urged the security agencies to start security preparations early as a proactive approach was what led to the successful conduct of the last governorship election in Edo State on 19 September 2020 and in Ondo State on 10th October 2020, respectively. Professor Yakubu, who made the appeal at a meeting of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security held at INEC headquarters, Abuja, condoled the armed forces as well as other security, intelligence, law enforcement agencies, all other members of ICCES and families of the fallen heroes for the colossal loss after the gruesome killing of officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army on a peace mission in Delta State is condemnable.
It is important to start security preparations early. In particular, the number of personnel and other assets to be deployed to strategic locations should be determined and mobilized early enough. It was this proactive approach that led to the successful conduct of the last governorship election in Edo State on 19th September 2020 and in Ondo State on 10th October 2020. There are no security incidents. Materials were deployed promptly, logistics deployed smoothly, polling units opened on time, voters attended to efficiently, and results collated and announced transparently. Let us replicate the successful conduct of the last governorship elections in Edo and Ondo states. In fact, working together, we should ensure that the 2024 governorship elections in Edo and Ondo states an improvement on the success story of 2020.
On his part, the National Security Advisor and co-chairman of ICCES, Nuhu Ribadu, represented by the Director of Internal Security at the Office of the NSA, Hassan Abdullahi, he described the deployment of security during the last by- and rerun elections held across 28 states of the Federation as impressive. He attributed the success to support from the government. Representative of the Inspector General of Police, Basil Idegu, also assured Nigerians that the tempo will be sustained in future elections.
The last by-election and rerun election in 26 states, I want to say that the deployment of security was quite impressive, and largely due to the support we received from the government, and this shall be repeated in the subsequent elections that are being organized.
Now, leveraging on the positive outcome of the elections we have had so far, the police and other security agencies are ready to replicate this success story in the coming off-cycle governorship elections in Edo and Ondo states. We have been interfacing with the CPs in the two commands. We have identified all the flashpoints, and we have continued to work on the threat profile of the two states to ensure that when we deploy, we'll deploy in line with what is required to ensure hitch-free election in the two states. As usual, we'll continue to bank on the support of the INEC, the federal government, and other security agencies to ensure that the police will repeat what they have been doing over the years and ensure hitch-free elections in these two states.
Edo governorship election will hold on Saturday, 21st September 2024, while that of Ondo State is scheduled for Saturday, 16th November 2024. Unidentified gunmen suspected to be members of the Eastern Security Network, an armed group of the indigenous people of Biafra, on Saturday killed 2 police officers along Old Garikiri Road, Okigwe Council area of Imo State. State Police Public Relations Officer Henry Okoye disclosed this to newsmen in a statement in Owerri. Narrating how it happened, the command said the gunmen threw dynamite at the officers while on security patrol. 2 of the officers were killed and 4 officers survived the attack after an exchange of gunfire with the attackers. According to the command, the Commissioner of Police, Imo State Command CP Aboki Danjuma, has condemned the attack and gruesome murder of personnel of Mopo 18 Owerri by gunmen suspected to be members of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra and its armed affiliates Eastern Security Network. The officers were ambushed while on patrol duties along Old Garki Road, Okigwe, by the disgruntled element who threw dynamite on the officers' patrol vehicle and engaged them in a protracted gunfight. In the process, 2 officers paid the ultimate price while 4 others survived the attack. The CP calls on the general public, particularly the residents of Okigwe who may have any useful information that may assist the police in the investigation, to kindly do so by reporting at the nearest police station. All Progressives Grand Alliance has replied to the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje, over his comments that Anambra State has remained politically dislocated from the center by remaining in APGA. National Publicity Secretary of APGA, Ejimofo Para, who reacted to the comment by Ganduje, said Anambra, though a minority party, has remained better than most states which claim to have connected to the center. Ganduje, during the Southeast APC colloquium held in Inui, Anambra State on Friday, said Anambra is not making the expected progress because it has remained in APGA and has also refused to connect to the center. APC chairman also noted that former governors who ruled Anambra State under APGA ended up leaving the APGA after ruling the state, which, according to him, further demonstrated that the party had no bearing in national importance. But in a response on Saturday, Opara berated Ganduje, saying that his activities in Kano as a governor were some of the reasons Kano chose a governor from the new Nigeria's People's Party. Enugu State Governor Peter Amba says his administration will generate and distribute electricity in the state by the end of 2026. Amba unveiled the plans to tackle the challenges of epileptic power supply to businesses and residents of the state on Saturday at a town hall meeting with various stakeholders. According to him, the State Electricity Regulatory Commission will be inaugurated soon as part of measures to actualize the goal, adding that the state would explore opportunities provided by the power sector reforms to generate and distribute power to boost businesses. Mba, who also spoke on the ongoing legacy project aimed at repositioning the educational sector. He disclosed that the 260 smart schools being constructed in the 260 political wards of the state will come alive by 2025. Governor Peter Amba of Enugu State has promised continuous payment of wage awards to state workers until the Committee on New Minimum Wage concludes its work. The governor pledged the town hall meeting with Enugu people on Saturday at the Old Government House, Enugu. The governor began the payment of the wage award between 10,000 naira and 25,000 naira to state workers last December to cushion the effects of the fuel subsidy removal. The town hall meeting was attended by representatives of the civil society organizations, women, students, youth, business owners, traders, transport unions, and others. Mba said his government would prioritize workers' welfare, adding that he would create values that would help workers to thrive. The governor, who added that his administration inherited arrears of pension and gratuity of retired civil servants, explained that he did not waste time in clearing them. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has expressed his administration's readiness to collaborate with the technology company Meta Platform Inc., formerly Facebook, to deepen the digital space in the state. Governor Sanwo-Olu spoke during a courtesy visit by the President, Global Affairs, Meta Platforms Inc., Sir Nick Clegg, at the Lagos House Marina. The areas of mutual interest between Lagos State and Meta Platform will include digital marketing, scholarships for Lagosians, open source technology for training of young innovators in artificial intelligence, tools for local businesses to help develop their businesses, among several other areas of partnership. Speaking during the courtesy visit, Governor Sanwo-Olu reiterated his administration's commitment to ease off doing business, saying the state government would continue to leverage its rules and regulations for businesses to do well. Speaking earlier, Sir Nick Clegg pledged Meta Platform's readiness to work in close collaboration with the Lagos State government to deepen the digital space. People's Democratic Party in Ekiti State has begun the reconciliation process to reunite the party ahead of the 2026 governorship election in Ekiti State. The party leadership from the state to wards level met at the state party secretariat in Ado-Ekiti on Saturday to strategize and unite the party ahead of the governorship election. Speaking at the event tagged Unity Meeting, Senator Bayodun Olujimi called on the party leaders to come together and bring the party back to reckoning. reckoning. She appealed to them to forgive each other and think outside the box on how to generate resources for the party to come back to limelight. On his part, the state party chairman, Engineer Alaba Agbula, revealed that a reconciliation committee has been set up to unite leaders of the party. Management of Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Osun State, has denied issuing any lease agreement with illegal miners operating within the school premises. It also disclosed that the school authority had earlier reported the activities of illegal miners to appropriate federal government agencies to curb the illegal actions. Illegal miners were said to be operating in some areas of the school premises, thereby endangering the lives of students and staff of the university, but some operators claimed they had a license to operate. A statement issued by the public relations officer of the university, Abiodun Olarewaju, on Saturday denied that the authority issued any individual, group or company any consent to operate within its premises. Federal government has pledged its commitment to patronizing local media manufacturers in boosting local content, development and fostering growth in the industrial sector. Adebayo Adelabu, Minister of Power, assured support for local manufacturers investing in domestic production during a working visit to Momas Electricity Meters Manufacturing Company Limited, Mowe, Ogun State. Adelabu emphasized the importance of sustaining local producers through access to affordable funding and long-term capital. He highlighted plans to introduce legislation mandating local content in the power sector, just like the oil and gas industry, stressing the necessity of comprehensive plans for full backwards integration and technical training. The minister outlined the presidential metering initiative's target of installing 2 million to 2.5 million meters annually over the next 5 years, according to him, initially to address significant metering gaps, stressing the need for collaborative efforts from stakeholders. In response, Kola Balogun, chairman of MOMAS, expressed appreciation for the minister's support and stressed the need for sustained government commitment to local industries. National Youth Service Corps has refuted a trending story of a corps member posted to Amotekun Corps for the one-year mandatory program. A statement on Saturday by the Assistant Director of Press and Public Relations, NYSC Oyo State, Ms. Christy Olatoye, said Amotokun was not included on the list of employers on the NYSC database. She, however, said the Western Nigeria Security Network Code named Amotekun remained a respected organization. She restated that a posting letter with such deployment did not emanate from the NYSC in Oyo State. She warned mischief makers against portraying the scheme negatively. Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State has approved the appointment of Dr. Taiwo Lasisi as acting rector of the Polytechnic Ibadan. Makinde made the announcement via a statement signed by the Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Salihu Adelabu, and made available to newsmen on Saturday. He said Lassis will serve in an acting capacity for 6 months with effect from 25th March 2024. To 25th September 2024, the governor, while speaking further, maintained that the appointment became imperative following the expiration of the tenure of Professor Kazim Adebiyi on 24th March 2024. The acting rector obtained bachelor and master's degrees in statistics from the Universities of Ibadan, Nigeria, and a doctorate of philosophy degree in statistics from the University of Botswana. 10 people were reportedly kidnapped at the Taraba Benue border community in Juta in the Ukum local government area of Benue State. A source who spoke on condition of anonymity explained that the driver of the ill-fated vehicle who escaped being kidnapped narrated the attack. The source stated that the driver of the Sharon bus explained that he picked up the passengers at Takum Junction in Wukari, Taraba State, and that they were 10 in number. When contacted, the lawmaker who represents Ukum State constituency in the State Assembly, Ezra in Yiyongo, said he received such a report. Meanwhile, chairman of the local government area, Victor Ioza, said he could not confirm the incident, stating that both the council divisional police officer nor the chief security officer of the local government claimed not to have the report. You are watching the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. We return after this break.
country illegally. That is amazing. You human trafficker.
Honorable they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
from the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Welcome back. This is the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. Now the rest of our stories. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has assured the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, of FCT administration support to curb insecurity in the nation. Wike, who pledged when the Chief of Defense Staff visited him in Abuja, acknowledged the tireless efforts of the Nigerian military to keep Nigeria safe. He assured Musa of FCTA's support in whatever form to improve the security situation in the country and maintain the territorial integrity of the nation. He said that the National Assembly had passed the 2024 FCT statutory budget, adding that a provision was made in the budget for the procurement of drones for security agencies. This, according to him, will support security agencies in winning the ongoing war against all forms of insecurity, particularly in the FCT. Earlier, the CDS explained that the visit was to commend Wike for the transformation taking place in the FCT within the short time of being in office as FCT minister. Adamawa state government has set the machinery in motion to rebuild the famous Jimeta shopping complex located in the capital, Yola. The new idea is to transform the current complex of 2,330 shops to more shops by replacing the one-story structures to multi-story buildings. The new structure will include a clinic, a police post, a car park, among other facilities. The Jimeta shopping complex remodeling is being handled by the State Ministry of Commerce and Industry in collaboration with the Yola North local government area. State Commissioner of Commerce and Industry, Dr. Ishaya Dabari, who fielded questions from newsmen at the weekend on the rebuilding of the Jimeta shopping complex, said for the overhaul to be done smoothly, shop owners are being relocated to the late Gambo Jimeta Modern Market and Motor Park, now a largely vacant facility in Fallujah opposite the main Jimeta Modern Market. Bauchi state government has denied recent reports it spent over 5 billion naira in foodstuff and refreshment in 2023. The government described the reports as false and misleading. The special advisor on media and publicity to the governor, Comrade Mukhtar Gidado, in a statement dismissed the report as products of sensationalism. The government stated the allocation for foodstuffs and refreshment did not surpass the combined budget for water facilities, education and health services. As alleged, Gidado explained that part of the 5 billion was part of a federal initiative to elevate the hardships caused by the removal of petroleum subsidies. Suspects believed to be hoodlums have reportedly attacked a customs office in Yari local government area of Kebbi State. The hoodlums were said to have injured an officer, while property was also damaged in the process. This was according to a statement made available to newsmen by the spokesman for the command, Mohammed Salisu, on Saturday. He said the incident occurred on Thursday after the officers intercepted some smuggled items in the area. He, however, assured that to subside and lower tension, the Kebbi State Governor, Dr. Nasir Idris, hosted the Customs Area Controller on the way forward, and normalcy has since been restored. Personnel of the Nigerian Army have killed no fewer than 5 terrorists during clearance operation in Borno State. The clearance operation by the combat team resulted in the rescue of 78 kidnapped victims comprising 35 women and 43 children. The villages cleared are Ngurusoye, Sabon Gari, Marmiri 1 and 2, Buladalo Extension, Yamansi and Gidgaji, all in Borno State. A statement on Saturday by the Director, Nigerian Army Public Relations, Major General Oyema Wachuku, said that the feat was achieved after a fierce gun battle with the terrorists. In the last 1 week, troops killed 106 and arrested 103 terrorists. Oloro of Oro Kingdom in Kwara State, Oba Abdurrafiu Olaniyi Ajiboye Oyeleran, is dead. According to reports, the traditional ruler died in the wee hours of Saturday. It was gathered that he died in his mid-70s after a protracted illness that lasted over 1 year. It was further gathered that the late monarch was declared dead sometime last year during a protracted illness, only to be announced alive later. A statement by the Chief Press Secretary to Governor Abdurrahman Abdurazak Rafiu Ajakaye also confirmed that the monarch joined his ancestors early hours Saturday. Governor Abdurazak in a statement described the late monarch as a peacemaker, a father figure to all, and a man who was passionate about the development of his kingdom. Meanwhile, the Emir of Ilorin, Alhaji Ibrahim Sulugambari, commiserated with the people of Oro Kingdom in Kwara over the death of the Oloro of Oro, Oba Abdurrafiu Oyelaran, on Saturday. Plateau Command of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, have arrested 7 suspects for vandalizing railway tracks and slippers in the state. Commandants of the corps in the state, Alexander Barunde, who paraded the suspects in Jos, said his men arrested them at Kwakwi community in Riom, local government area of the state. He explained that this arrest followed an intelligence report from some members of the community. Barunde said items recovered from the suspected vandals include 60 pieces of railway tracks, 30 slippers, and other materials. One of the suspects, Ahmed Mohammed, denied knowledge that the items were vandalized, adding that they were only contracted to convey them. Governor Caleb Mufwang of Plateau has called on states within the Middle Belt to unite for the development of the region. He made the call on Saturday during the dedication of the Ekwe Gospel Church in Kulishin Village, Shongom local government area, Gombe State. The Ekwe Gospel Church was built and donated to the community by Jerry Damara, Managing Director, CEO of Mesotho Group, and former member of the While congratulating members of the church for the edifice, Mufwang reminded them of the need to rekindle brotherhood among one another, support and promote the region to glory to God. While admonishing the congregants on the need for genuine relationship with God, Mufwang reiterated that God desires the heart more than physical structures, hence the need for genuine fellowship with God. Earlier, Reverend Silas Yako, guest speaker at the event, while delivering the message entitled Setting a Good Example, urged Christians to live more by examples in their actions rather than words. Army, in collaboration with the Office of the National Security Advisor, has successfully rescued the 17 Sangaya pupils abducted by bandits in Gada local government about 2 weeks ago. The military presented the rescued children and a lady in Sokoto Governor Dr. Ahmed Aliyu, according to a statement by the Press Secretary Abubakar Bawa. Speaking at a press occasion to receive the rescued victims, Aliyu commended the military at the Office of the National Security Advisor for successfully rescuing the abducted children. He added that all the rescued children have been subjected to medical examination to ascertain their health condition. Interagency task force set up by the Federal Road Safety Corps to apprehend overloaded trailers began work on Saturday along the Kaduna-Abuja Expressway. The task force was inaugurated by the Corps Marshal Dauda Biu at Kakao Toll Gate, Kaduna. The Corps Marshal, represented by ACM Zubero Mato, the FRSC head of the federal operations, said the move was essential because of recent pathetic developments around major corridors of Nigeria's highway. He said the task force would ensure compliance to all traffic regulations by stakeholders in the road transportation sector. BU said the initiative was also to prevent escalation of road traffic crashes, fatalities, and injuries. He said avoidable crashes involving trailers overloaded with animals, goods, and passengers have been recorded in the last few months, with attendant loss of lives and properties. According to him, the Kaduna-Abuja Highway, a bustling artery connecting southern part of Nigeria, has become a death trap to motorists as a result of crashes involving trailers carrying goods, animals, and passengers. Kaduna State Governor Ubasani has continued to strategize on effective ways to bring back the over 200 kidnapped Kuriga school children. Recall the bandits abducted over 200 school children in Kuriga on March 7, 2024. However, since the abduction of the school children, the governor had met with various stakeholders in the state, including heads of security agencies and traditional rulers. On Saturday, the governor disclosed that he had met President Bola Tinubu to suggest to him an effective way to decimate bandits so that the kidnapped school children can regain their freedom. Troops of the 7th Division Nigerian Army have eliminated 5 terrorists of the Islamic State of West African Province and their Jama'atu al-Sunnah leader counterparts in northeast Nigeria. A statement issued by Major General Onyema Nwachukwu, Director Army Public Relations, said the troops, in an aggressive clearance patrol conducted successfully, cleared 6 villages where terrorists hibernated with their hostages. Nwachukwu said the troops came in contact with the terrorists and fiercely engaged them in a gun battle, eliminating 5 of them. They also rescued 78 persons, including 35 women and 43 children, held hostage by the terrorists. Defense Headquarters has declared that no fewer than 97 persons are wanted. The wanted persons include terrorists and insurgents, among others, who are behind violent crimes in the country. They also include the factional leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Simon Ekpa. Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, released the names and pictures of those declared wanted. Unlike in November 2022, when the military declared no fewer than 19 bandits leaders wanted with a bounty of 5 million naira on each of them to encourage Nigerians to volunteer information that could lead to their arrest, this time around no bounty was placed on the 97 persons declared wanted. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency on Saturday alerted members of the public, especially those who have loved ones abroad, of a new scheme by scammers who impersonate its officers. The agency said the new scheme involves the scammers calling unsuspecting citizens to inform them of the arrest of their relatives at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos, or any other international airport in Nigeria with illicit drugs upon arrival in the country. This was made known in a statement by Femi Babafemi, the NDLEA's Director of Media and Advocacy. He disclosed that after throwing the family members into panic, they then demand millions of naira to facilitate the release of such persons from custody. The NDLEA spokesman said the family members involved in this case are advised not to part with their hard-earned money to scammers. He further urged Nigerians with loved ones abroad to keep discussions on travel plans of their relatives to themselves to avoid the hijacking of such criminal elements for devious schemes. Family of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has sought to know who benefits from the alleged whopping 800 million naira that the federal government spent as the cost of bringing him to court anytime he is to make a court appearance. This is as the family has raised fresh concern over the IPOB's failing health, saying he needs urgent medical attention to avert a major health crisis. Spokesman of the family, Prince Emmanuel Kanu, who spoke with newsmen on Saturday, said the family heard that the federal government spent 800 million naira each time he was brought to court. The family, which recently berated the Igbo political class for allegedly abandoning their son, expressed worry over his health condition. The family once again called on the international community to prevail on Nigeria to release the IPOB leader, who it said is unjustly held for demanding the freedom of his Biafra people. Kanu has remained in a solitary confinement at the Abuja headquarters of the Department of State Services since June 21st, when he was abducted and an extraordinarily rendition from Kenya. And now to business news. Investors at the Nigerian Exchange Limited gained 146.95 billion naira in market capitalization as the all-share index soared by 259.90 points. The development further heightened investors' confidence as the total market capitalization hit 59.17 trillion naira at the close of trading on Friday. Accordingly, the financial sector significantly pioneered the gains recorded in the market. The market sentiment stayed buoyant, with the NSL Tech leading the pack of 34 advancing stocks. With a notable 10% increase in its stock value. In contrast, Ikeja Hotel and PZ registered a 10% dip each, positioning them as the least favorable performers amid the 14 stock that saw a decline. Regarding trading volume, Access Corp dominated the day's activity, while GT Co stood out regarding value traded. Overall market operations experienced an increase, with the number of deals reaching 9,574 for the day, an uptick from the previous session's 8,790 deals. And now to international tidbits. Russian President Vladimir Putin on Saturday called an attack on a concert hall that killed more than 100 a barbaric terrorist act and vowed harsh retribution to all those involved. In a televised address, Putin said all 4 gunmen had been arrested before they had a chance to cross the border into Ukraine. Russia's FSB security service said earlier the assailants had been in contact with people in Ukraine as they tried to flee the country. At least 115 people were killed by armed gunmen at the Crocus City Hall in a suburb on the northern edge of Moscow on Friday. The concert hall was set ablaze. The attack has been claimed by the Islamic State group, but Russian authorities have not mentioned this. World leaders denounced a deadly attack by gunmen in a Moscow concert hall on Friday that killed more than 60 people and wounded over 100. Attackers dressed in camouflage uniforms entered the Crocus City venue ahead of the start of a rock concert, opened fire and threw a grenade or incendiary bomb, according to a journalist for the IRA Novosti news agency at the scene. The assault was claimed by the Islamic State group. President Vladimir Putin wished a speedy recovery to the wounded victims and conveyed his thanks to doctors. Russia's Deputy Prime Minister Tatiana Golikova was quoted as saying by Russia's news agencies on Saturday after meeting with him. Ukraine, which has been facing a Russian military offensive for the past 2 years, said it had nothing to do with the attack. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres condemned in the strongest possible terms the terrorist attack. The White House sent its condolences to the victims of the terrible shooting, saying it was trying to get more information, amongst others. Multiple air attacks on the Russian border region of Belgorod adjoining Ukraine on Saturday killed 2 people and injured at least 7, the governor said. Further east, an overnight drone attack on the Samara region caused a fire at a major oil refinery, the latest in a series of strikes against Russia's fuel industry. Belgorod Governor Vyacheslav Gladkov wrote in Telegram that 2 districts in his region, as well as the regional capital, also called Belgorod, had been hit in drone and air attack. He posted a photo of a residential building with the facade partially destroyed. The attack came 24 hours after Russia unleashed one of its largest aerial barrages of the 2-year conflict, hitting dozens of Ukrainian energy sites and leaving more than 1 million temporarily without power. And now to entertainment news. Colombian pop star Shakira has expressed doubts over finding love again after her split from former Barcelona defender Gerard Piqué. The couple, who had been together for 11 years, announced their separation in June 2022. This came amid allegations of infidelity on Piqué's part. Shakira, who is now 47 years, said on Zayn Lowe's Apple Music One show she thought love would be there forever. for her. Despite the heartbreak, Shakira has focused on her music career. Her long-awaited 12th album, Las Mujeres Ya No Lloran, was released recently, marking her return to the music scene. And now to sports news. Nigeria Premier Football League has postponed the match day 27, 28 and 29 games involving Rivers United. The postponed games are against Sunshine Stars, Castina United and Abia Warriors. The games were postponed due to Rivers United's CAF Confederation Cup engagement. A new date is expected to be fixed by the NPFL. The NPFL disclosed this in a memo sent to the clubs. Rivers United will do battle against USM Algiers in the first leg of their CAF Confederation Cup quarter-final clash next weekend. Russia have called off their friendly international against Paraguay scheduled for Monday next week in Moscow, following Friday's shooting rampage near the capital city. This was confirmed today by the Russian Football Union. At least 115 people died after gunmen opened fire in a concert hall near Moscow, with Islamic State militant group claiming responsibility. Russia defeated Serbia 4-0 on Thursday at Moscow's VTB Arena and were scheduled to play Paraguay at the same venue on Monday. The Russian Culture Ministry has also cancelled all entertainment and mass events in the country. World number 2 Anya Sabalenka started her Miami Open campaign after an emotional week with a 6-4, 6-3 win over close friend Paula Badosa. Two-time Australian Open champion Sabalenka, 25, played a second-round match 4 days after the death of her former partner Konstantin Kostlov. Kostlov, an ex-ice hockey player, died in Miami, aged 42, in what police described as an apparent suicide. And that's the global news for tonight. Before we go, another look at the major stories. Rivers APC frowns over Governor Fubara's performance. Imo CP condemns attacks on security personnel. NDLEA alerts public on new scam. Investors gain 146.95 billion naira in market capitalization. Putin vows retribution for Moscow attack. Shakira expresses doubts over finding love again. NPFL postpones Rivers United's next 3 games. I am Valentina Lawrence. Thank you for watching. You can follow us on all our social media platforms: on X, Atlantic TV Net, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram, Atlantic TV Network. Do remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you. Have a lovely night.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.